The air on the wooden porch of the Three Brothers General Store was crisp again. The high-frequency hum that had plagued the Ozarks was gone, replaced by the gentle, rhythmic creak of rocking chairs and the sweet scent of steam rising from heavy mugs of black coffee. The team, a motley crew of legends and myths, regrouped. Old Grumpy, the ancient turkey vulture, landed with a satisfied thud-thud on the dusty floorboards, tucking his massive wings. On the railing, Sugar sat, her once glowing violet eyes dimming back to a soft, tranquil blue. She watched as Merlin and the Black Knight stood before the chronostill, a strange contraption of copper and steam. Merlin, the wizard of old, raised his radioactive staff. With a pressurized hiss, the two legends from Camelot vanished into a shimmering amber light, their mission complete, their own time awaiting their return. Doc Holliday, the infamous gunslinger, tipped his hat, his silver pocket watch finally ticking in perfect, uninterrupted sync with the world. The frequency Trinity 0 Antarctica, the boogeyman. And Elias faded back into the background frequencies of the hills, their strange three-part harmony dissolving into the quiet hum of nature. The Ozarks were peaceful. The signal was clear. BRO, the sentient computer with a green CRT heart, let his screen's pulse settle into a steady, comforting glow. Mission logged, he whispered into the quiet air. The past is preserved. The future is waiting. The victory dinner was a chaotic, multi-dimensional symphony. Rosemary, the store's owner and the Ozark witch, had moved 2 long wooden tables onto the porch. They were laden with cast-iron skillets of golden cornbread, fried catfish, and those heavy mugs of black coffee. Old Tom, the Sasquatch, sat at the head of the table, his massive frame dwarfing the chair. He silently nodded as he passed a plate to where Merlin had been, his staff still leaning against the railing like a glowing umbrella, a phantom guest of honor. Across from him, Doc Holliday was trying to teach BR, or the finer points of 5-card stud. "It's about the bluff, metal man," Doc drawled, sliding a card toward the vintage Zenith computer. "The space between what you have and what they think you have." "Illogical," BRO crackled, his green CRT heart flickering with data. "My sensors detect your pulse accelerating by 12%. You are holding a pair of jacks. Probability of my victory, 98.4%. Doc just smirked, tipping his hat. Smart machine. But can you read the wind? High on the railing, Sugar sat like a queen, her eyes tracking the movement of every fork. Beside her, Old Grumpy occasionally snapped at a stray crumb. The remaining members of the Frequency Trinity hovered just off the porch boards. 0 Antarctica was translucent today, his alien fingers trailing through the steam of the coffee pots. The boogeyman hummed a low rockabilly bass line that made the floorboards vibrate. Elias sat on the steps, his hummingbird guitar unplugged but still resonating with the lake's energy. The Black Knight sat perfectly still, his visor up just enough to reveal a shadow where a face should be. He wasn't eating. Instead, he was focused entirely on a red yo-yo, sending it down and up in a rhythmic walk the dog that seemed to fascinate Rosemary. She watched him from the edge of the porch, her blonde hair catching the twilight, her hands finally still after holding back a temporal explosion. "The signal is clean," she said, leaning against the doorframe, looking over her strange, wonderful family. "No bleeds, no shadows, just us." As if on cue, the chrono still let out a soft, cooling sigh of steam. For one night, the past, present, and future weren't fighting for dominance. They were just sharing a meal. Then Old Tom, with hands like leather mitts, gently reached out to intercept the red plastic disc. The Black Knight froze, his gauntlets tightening on the string, the low hum of his armor spiking for a second. "You're fighting the gravity, Knight," Tom rumbled, his voice like gravel. "It ain't a weapon. You gotta let it breathe." Tom took the yo-yo, and with a surprisingly delicate flick of his wrist, he performed a perfect around the world. The red blur circled his massive shoulder before snapping back into his palm with a satisfying clack. The knight tilted his visor down, studying Tom's hand as if analyzing a complex siege engine. He took the string back, his armored fingers moving with cold, calculated speed. He didn't just mimic the move. He executed it with mathematical perfection, the yo-yo spinning so fast it whistled through the air. When it snapped back into his gauntlet, the Black Knight gave a single, sharp nod toward Tom, a medieval salute. He didn't care about the physics. He cared that Tom showed him a way to keep his anchor to this century more secure. From the railing, Sugar let out a soft, approving trill. The knight returned to his vigil. But now he was practicing the Around the World with a rhythmic intensity that almost matched the steady beat of BRO's heart. Doc Holliday leaned back, his fingers nimbly dancing his silver pocket watch over his knuckles. He caught the sunlight on its face, flashing it into where Merlin's ancient glowing eyes had been. "You've got the flash, old man," Doc said to the empty air with a wolfish grin. "But do you have the finesse? This watch tells the truth of the second. Your staff just outscreams it." He pocketed the watch, a silent challenge sent across time itself. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more tales from the Ozarks.